Hi everybody, how you doing? Crypto Rick here, and today I'm very, very happy and proud to be sitting with Mark Lloyd. Mark is the managing director at Dominium. So, Mark, thank you very much for joining us today.
Hi, Rick. Pleased to be here.
Well, I just had a couple questions. I've done a few videos on the Dominium project, and everybody knows how I feel about it. I'm super pumped up, very excited about the project for many reasons. And I just had a few follow-up questions that I wanted to have answered so everybody could get the information in front of them.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
the first question that I have, I think, is one of the most important things in any business, right? And that's, what problems in the industry are you looking to solve?
Wow. Okay. And there's a number of them. So let's start with looking at it from the average person, an investor's viewpoint. So what's the problems? Well, first of all, from an investor's viewpoint, limited liquidity. You invest in real estate. Your money is tied up in that real estate for whatever period of time you hold it. There's a relatively high point of entry. So if you're buying a property, a real estate in the States, whatever the deposit might be, if you're investing in a real estate fund, then there's going to be a relatively high point of entry. Very limited transparency. If I want to buy a property, I usually get back, I don't know the answers to that, and all the way down the questions. When was the boiler last changed? Oh, I don't know. It might be 5 years ago. It could be 10 years ago. When was the electrical installation last checked? Who knows? And they're quite crucial questions, whether you're investing as a homeowner or investing for return. So, because that can affect, the amount you're going to spend on the property and your offer. So limited transparency. Also with agents or realtors, I think, as you call them in the States. Is it a real offer or not? Well, if it's recorded on the blockchain, it is a real offer. So, and the last thing really is reliance on financial institutions. The world, until very recently, I think, has been very reliant on financial institutions. Investors in particular, real estate does require finance for the majority of the stuff we do. So we've had to rely on banks and other financial institutions to get that. Well, what we're creating is to bypass that. If you look from a professional's point of view, so if someone is looking to create a real estate fund, there's lots of regulatory compliance, there's marketing costs, there's administration, there's lots of legal fees. Well, we're going to create a system where they can operate under our umbrella license. And then lastly, from the authorities' point of view, adherence to legal regulation, adherence to the anti-money laundering, the KYC checks, marketing regulations, and declaration of investor income. So it's all transparent because all that stuff will be recorded on the blockchain.
Yeah, and obviously I'm a homeowner, so some of that stuff was ringing true. Talking about the agents and the realtors. Oh man, it seemed like every house that I was trying to buy, I had to increase my bid on the house because there's these magic offers at the same time mine was going in, and there's always that piece of your brain that's wondering, are they just trying to squeeze out that extra commission? And unfortunately, much of the time, the answer to that question is yes, right? Because money makes the world go around, and we'd like to think we're special, but we're nothing more than a customer to these real estate agents. And the point
Absolutely.
of any customer is to get as much money as you can. That's how business works. So I think the transparency piece is key. I think that's really, really crucial. And then same thing, right? As a homeowner, if I'm buying a house that's 50, 60, 70, 80 years old, I'm going to want to know when things were done on that house, the maintenance records, when was the electric last looked at, and all of that. So I think that's a key solution right there. What other key solutions do you see Dominium bringing to the table?
Well, I think so. As I've already mentioned, this is all going to go onto the blockchain with our platform. So the platform will enable you to buy, sell, manage, raise finance for real estate property. So that we're going to bring all that into one platform. And I saw an article written about us recently that described us as the Uber of real estate. And I think that's kind of where we're at. It's not been done before, but the real estate market is so antiquated.
Yeah.
It's historically everything has been done through notaries, solicitors. Because why? Because they create the system.
Yep.
You know, so you have to use them for the system. It's this kind of self-fulfilling for them. They get paid lots of money for doing it, and you have to use them. So we're going to. Are we going to bypass them? There's still going to be a need for solicitors and notaries somewhere in some kind of format. But what we can do is reduce cost, whether it's through agents, because you wouldn't necessarily need to use an agent. You might need someone to show around the property. That's a different issue. But actually using an agent to sell the property, no.
Yeah.
Would you need to use a solicitor or a notary? Not necessarily. Or a lawyer, sorry, as you call them in the States. Would you need to use them? Not necessarily. We can cut out all those costs and speed up the entire transaction. You know, speaking from my own personal experience, even if I'm a cash buyer, it's the time it takes to complete a property transaction in the UK alone is just ridiculous. Yeah. Whereas, you know, the authorities don't accept currently electronic signature. They don't accept electronic documents, which is, you know, just totally stupid in today's age. I think what we can show is with the blockchain that stuff's transparent. It's recorded. It's immutable. It can't be altered. And I think that will help satisfy that kind of side of things. So overall, we're creating an all-encompassing solution for the real estate world.
Yeah, and I like that, right? Because real estate's obviously one of the largest, if not the largest, industries in the world. Something that we deal with all day, every day, whether we're thinking about it or not. You're sitting in a building, I'm sitting in a building, everybody's sitting in a building, and that's one of the things that's always kind of had me puzzled, is why have there been no technological advances in this industry that we all use all day, every day? It becomes mind-numbing, the stacks of paperwork that we have to go through just for the most, what should be simple transactions, right? So I think that's a huge advantage that you guys will be able to bring to the table, and the utilization of the blockchain and not being able to alter these documents, because let's face it, notary or no notary, people can alter documents to do and say whatever they did. I mean, look at the economic crash, because all these loan guys were altering pay stubs and all of those things. So documents can be altered. So having it on the blockchain and not being able to be tinkered with, I think, is a huge win as well. So I know that the Dominium project is a new project. The ITO is a new project, but you guys have been around for nearly 200 years successfully. Why now? Why did you choose to move forward with an ITO?
Well, I think the route we've chosen is because of our personal experience. We are property investors ourselves, so we've kind of come from our angle rather than coming from a tech angle, trying to find a solution to fit property. We've just said, well, these are our problems, and what are the problems that the authorities have, and let's see how we can try and get all these together. And the reason why we've done it through the ITO route is very simply mass adoption. We can achieve that much more quickly, more globally, by giving away tokens through an airdrop, for example. And we were already, I think, last I heard, we were represented in 160 countries. We've already translated the platform now, and I think it's about 18 languages. Wow. So, that was really our reason, a raison d'etre for choosing this method, because we just wanted to get out there quickly.
Nice, yeah, and obviously, being at the forefront of this technology is a huge win, and being able to adapt is one of the most important things for a business. So I think it goes hand in hand with the success that you guys have had over the past 200 years or so, and your willingness to be one of the groundbreakers in this new technology. Those two things are not a coincidence. They go hand in hand. So every business has to be able to adapt to the changing world around them, and the most successful are the ones creating the change, not following the change. So my hat's off to you guys for seeing this opportunity and really building a really good and solid solution for not just you guys as the property company, but for people like me, property investors that don't have the knowledge that you guys do, to kind of dumb it down and make it simple for me and every other normal user out there, I think is a huge win that I see with this platform as well. So with that being said, what do you see for the future of Dominium and for property in general?
Well, I think we want to become a total global platform, and if you can think of it as one global land registry for the entire world, because there's no technical reason why that can't be done. As I already said, are we going to get rid of lawyers out of the transaction? Well, yes, in essence, that would be the goal. Lawyers are still going to be needed for a multitude of things, but the reason the system is so slow currently is because they're involved. That's a fact. So that's lawyers, notaries, solicitors, as we called them. We want to speed everything up. I personally do not see why I cannot go and view a property or see something, whether it's online or go and view personally today, and complete a transaction within a day or two.
Yeah.
If all the information is there, if all the information is recorded on the blockchain, which it will be, then I've got everything I need. So then I'm only negotiating on price.
Yep.
So the speed of the transaction should be much, much, much quicker. And of course the costs associated with those transactions. If we're taking other people out of the chain, notaries, solicitors, agents, etc., then those commissions are not they're not being paid out anywhere. Those fees are not being paid out anywhere. So you, as the investor, consumer, are saving quite a substantial amount of money in many countries.
Yeah, that's huge. I know when I was purchasing my house, just trying to line everything up, right? Selling my old house and moving into my new house. It was such a hard thing to plan with the family. I have 3 kids and all of that, where you have 90-day escrows and money sitting. It's like, you already have the money. What's going on? Why can't I just get the keys to my new house? It's just for an everyday person like me, it just doesn't make sense. What we're talking about here today makes a lot of sense. If I have the money in my hand and you want the money that I have in my hand and I want what you have, just like every other business transaction, why do we have to wait 90 days for anything, right? So I think that's going to be something that people can relate to and people can understand, no matter if you're a renter, a buyer, a homeowner, a commercial property investor, whatever your case is, this is something that you can utilize on one spectrum or another. And that's what I've really liked, digging around the platform. I see a ton of opportunity there. For me, I'm not even a real estate mogul by any means, but I could start to dabble in it a little bit, get comfortable with it in a less intimidating avenue by using the Dominium platform.
Well, I mean, just to add, what we want to do is bring down the relatively high point of entry to the lowest common denominator. So you could essentially invest from £1, €1, $1. We want to bring it down to the man in the street to make it globally available, because at the moment property is not globally available for a lot of people. So if we can achieve that over the next few years, where we bring that down, and that's only going to be down to us getting regulated in various territories to be able to do that. But once we've done that, companies can come to us if they want to launch a project, development, property fund, buy property, whatever it may be. They could start from £1. Simple as that.
Yeah, that's amazing, right? Because I think everybody understands that property and real estate is one of the best ways to build your long-term wealth. The problem with it is you need to have wealth to get it, right? You need to have the money already in order to buy a $500,000 $1 million property. You need to have it in order to continue to grow it. That's part of the problem with what I've seen with it. The rich get richer because during downturns in the economic times, they're able to scoop up these cheap properties, and then when the market turns, they're sitting on more millions than they had before. And people like me are the ones that have to end up paying the price, right? So I really I see the value 100%. So before I let you go, Mark, is there anything else that you want people to know about the project, the team, Dominium in general?
I suppose first of all, this is not something that we're hoping to do. We are doing this already, right? We already have the properties. We own the real estate that we're putting onto the blockchain. Our own real estate is going onto the blockchain first. So that's all the beta testing is done on our own stuff. We're not asking to raise money to do it then. As speculative, this is all being done by us. That's kind of fact. The second thing is, as you know, Rick, we launched our ITO this week, just Monday just gone, and I'm really excited about that. We're offering at a substantial discount on the price of just 10 euro cents. So I'm not sure what that is equivalent in dollars, but probably fairly much on a par. And it's a great opportunity. I think that if you see where Bitcoin was 2009, right? Very skeptical. People didn't know about it. Look at it now. Very volatile, admittedly, but it's grown substantially. You look at Uber, Airbnb, started out with an idea to change that industry, and that's where we're at. So guys, don't miss out.
Yeah, and I agree. I mean, there's a reason why I've done multiple videos about this project and why I wanted to sit down with you, because this is something that I believe in. This is something that I'm interested in, and I'm going to take part in as well. So you guys, you heard it, right? We're sitting here, we're talking to Mark, the managing director for Dominium. If you're not excited yet, you need to go back, check out this project, check out my other videos. And I just wanted to add one more thing. I did mention it in previous videos, but there is an ITO going on, right? The sale started Monday, and as they said, that they're not raising funds for speculation, for hopes that they can do something. The funds raised in the ITO, correct me if I'm wrong, will be used to acquire more property. That's correct, right?
80% of the money is used to acquire more real estate.
Yeah.
And so we already have it lined up.
Yeah, so it's a no-brainer to me. I mean, this seems like, nothing's a surefire thing. Nothing's a 100% win. Of course, there is always risk in business. There's things that we can't control in the world. But to me, this is one of the best opportunities that I've seen in a long time. So I, again, want to thank you for your time, Mark. Thanks for joining us. And everybody out there, come check it out. The link's in the description below. Get over there to Dominium and check out this project. You will not be disappointed. Thank you again, Mark, for your time.
Cheers, Rick.
Thank you.